hello. Right, I believe everyone is in. It is past. So, I think we're going to get underway. Everyone in the right team? Yeah, looks like it. So let's go. Tier 2. Back again. Welcome everyone. Just waiting for everyone to ready up. And here we go, we're about to get underway for round 5 out of 12. We're nearly halfway through the season already. It's been quite a ride so far. And it's gonna keep going, I'm sure. Thank you, Rick, for the YouTuber intro. Yes, here we are for France. Tier 2, round 5 out of 12. We are here in Paul Ricard for what can be a very action-packed track in sim racing. In real life, not so much, but in sim racing, a lot can happen around here, and it can be more difficult than you might think to race clean. Yeah, fingers crossed that our Tier 2 drivers can manage it today. I'm sure they can. We're about to get ready for the start of qualifying. 18 minutes of a short qualifying session. Yeah, just to get the other part of the intro out the way. Unfortunately, Sumo can't make it today. His internet is having major problems. Yeah, it's sad that I can't have my fantastic co-commentator with me today, but I will do my best to cover the action on my own. No rain, serves Max in the chat, so I will take his word for it. So dry, no drama of rain in this session. It looks like Jamie F1, look at that at the bottom, and Spartan Keith, they're about to get out on track already. Spartan Keith will be the first one, so right on board with him as he heads out onto the track. Here comes the Red Bull onto the track, getting ready to start his out lap. And yeah, well, 14 drivers today, not too bad. We should have Lalo Mado in a little bit to make it 15, so not a bad turnout at all for today. It's great to see Femi Thrustmaster back after a few weeks out due to, I believe, PlayStation issues, so it's great to see him back on track. He was one of the biggest improvers last season, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do on F1 22. Can't make up a single goddamn French sentence on my own still after 3 years. Je voudrais un bon Grand Prix. There we go. Something like that. I've never been good at pronunciation. That's one thing. I can only pronounce things in English. If I try and do French accents or any other accents, I end up embarrassing myself. So there you go. Hello, Lifebout. Welcome in. For some reason, is that TTV Max? No, it's another Alfa Romeo. Wait, is it TTV Max? Oh, it is TTV Max. Is following very closely on the back of Spartan. Got to be a bit careful there, Max. But Spartan's about to start his lap, so that's why I'm bored with the Red Bull driver. As he takes us on a lap of France. He's currently sitting 5th in the standings, so he's not too far off at all. But here he goes into turn 1. You've got to commit massively to turn 1, and that was very conservative, shall we say, from Spartan Keith through turn 1. Didn't want to spin, just wants to get a banker in to start with, and then this tricky section. You've got to ride all of the curbs, and Spartan Keith, again, quite conservative as he comes through sector 1. I've just got to tell Lalo Mado which car he should go in. He can go in the Haas, but Spartan Keith onto this long straight now, where we'll see a few overtaking opportunities in the race. And now up to here, you've got to hit the curb, and he's hit the curb too hard, and that will be that for Spartan Keith's opening lap. So we're riding more with TTV Max instead as he comes up now. So no DRS up this section, but I still think we could see a few opportunities in the race here as well, as Max full throttle through that right-hander as you would expect, and now into this never-ending right-hander which you've got to really commit and accelerate out of. And again, Max a little bit conservative maybe through there, into 3rd gear there, riding the curb. You don't really want to do that, usually spins you, but Max able to keep the car on the circuit as he goes into the final couple of corners now, and now this really much tighter than you think final corner, and misses the apex there, so maybe a 10th lost, but Max crossed the line to set the initial pace of a 132.4. So that will be our opener. Tier immediately beats it at 32.3, but very close, 0.005 of a second between them. Who's next across the line? I think it's going to be Muhiti. No, it's Pommy Alex, his teammate, who's sitting 2nd in the standings at 31.2. Can the championship leader beat him? No, it's a poor lap from Muhiti, actually. Sorry, it's an out lap. Okay, it's an out lap. That makes a lot more sense. So he's about to start his first effort. QB into 4th with a 35.4, well off the pace. I'm sure he can improve on that. Mr. J-Man, a man in form in the Williams. He has been doing fantastically in qualifying, but not this lap so far, as he invalidates there. Lil Manny Man, we haven't seen him in a while. Good to see him back on the track. He goes into P5 for now. Muhiti has also invalidated, so he's going to have to go again. Mr. J-Man, yeah, he's invalidated. Crozer's coming into the end of his lap. He hasn't invalidated. This will be, no, 148, 149, so he must have spun like his teammate as he comes across to set what will be a new lap, I'm sure. Tito Man, then, in the Alpine, coming across the line. He will be the next to set a lap through the final sector, nearly invalidating there. You've got to be careful on the exit of that corner. Onto this left-hander, maybe a little bit too wide, but not too bad actually from Tito Man. Across the final corner, hitting the curb a bit too much there. That will have lost a bit of time, but down towards the line he comes. He's not going to be too far off. It's a 33.0, so just a few tenths off Femi. So yeah, not the best, not the most ideal first lap for Tito Man. I'm sure he can improve on that one. This is on a lap. Crozer is going to be on a lap, as of course. Sector 1 he invalidated straight away. And there we go, 17 seconds faster, so we know which sector he made the mistake last time out. I'm just going to restart my app because the telemetry isn't working. Crozer now into the final sector. Got to be so careful in this section. Don't hit the curb here. Very nice from Crozer. It's a little bit too conservative, but he just wants to get a lap in. I do not blame him. After ruining your first lap, you always just want to get something on the board that you can beat later on. There's still a long way to go in this session. Around the final corner, misses the apex, but it's not too bad an opener from Crozer. 32.4 into 4th place. So only about 100th off TTV Max. And at the moment, Pommy Alex is absolutely dominantly in first place. 31.2, over a second faster than Tier's closest effort. Jamie is starting a lap. Henry has spun on his lap in a similar place to both Red Bulls as Jamie comes through the first sector. Hasn't invalidated yet, so decent opening for him. Is my telemetry working now? Yes, it is. Perfect. Okay. So Jamie now onto this DRS straight. Rear wing flap is open as he comes down into the braking zone there for this left-hander, and then right-hander very conservative from Jamie. Through there you can really commit a lot more through there if you're feeling brave enough. But the Mercedes driver, a 51.1 through sector 2. Someone's sending purple times. It's Tito Man. Tito Man is purple in sector 1. Lil Manny Man's been disqualified for blocking the pit line. I'm not sure how he's managed to do that, but he will be starting from the back as Tito Man, one to watch possibly as he comes down, but no, he's straight across, so maybe that will be why he invalidated, and I think the stewards will be looking at that one, Tito Man, as he cuts completely across. Jamie F1 has spun, so he hasn't been able to set a lap. It spins galore at the moment for Tier 2, and very few people getting a lap on the board so far. Lalo Mado will be the next one to cross the line as he comes across now to the main straight. What's it going to be? It's going to be pole, a 30.8 for Lalo. Much better through sector 3 than Pommy Alex, and he will take pole position for now. A reserve driver looking to take, I believe, what would be his either second or third pole in a row. So could be conversations about getting Lalo, about allowing Lalo to reserve in Tier 2. There could be questions being asked, I think, over the coming days or weeks. But he's very happy, sitting pretty at the top of the leaderboards at the moment. Muhiti is on a lap now, so right on board with the championship leader as he comes into turn 1, very committed, and into turn 2, avoids the curb and all the way through. No issues this time. This comes into this tricky section of the track. This is the apex of the right-hander, but decent through the left, and then maybe a little bit wide through there, and very close to going overboard with the throttle, but very nice from the Turkish man as he comes through sector 1. I'm just looking at sector times, 22.8 through sector 1, so not too bad. Into this left-hander all the way across the curb and through the right-hander. Very nice from Muhiti. He's looking to set a great lap for now. Pass in Dutch means rabbit, and rabbits are pretty fast to pass on. That is fantastic. Muhiti now coming through sector 3. I was seeing purple sectors, but that was just because of Tito Man. Tito Man cutting corners. Muhiti now through the final sector, the final few corners. He'll want to set a decent banker. Mr. J-Man's just gone into P4 with a 32.3. Tier has improved to a 31.9, but hasn't improved his position. Muhiti coming across the line. Is he going to be close to the top? No, he's not actually. He's quite a way off. 8/10 off of his teammate. And, well, of course, Lalo Mado is not really in the championship fight as a reserve driver, but Muhiti will be frustrated to be that far off his teammate, I would have thought. So we'll see if he can improve later on. Femi Thrustmaster coming to the end of a lap, but he's way down on his previous best. JBS Steve as well. I'm looking for green sectors, and JBS Steve has 2 of them. He's 5/10 up on his previous best, which actually would only get him up 1 position as it stands. So can he improve massively in the first sector? Huge snap of oversteer out the final corner. That's going to cost him quite a bit as he comes up to the line now, a 32.5. So he does gain a couple of positions in the end. Much better third sector from him, but still quite a way off the top pace, and spins at the exit of turn 2 on his in lap as well, just to add insult to injury. Spartan Keith on a lap as well, 22.7 through sector 1, not bad at all. He needs to get something on the board. There's only 6 minutes left in this quali session. The Red Bulls helping each other out. We've seen this in the past. Crozer giving his teammate a really good tow there on the DRS straight. So could that gain Spartan Keith a fair bit of time as he comes through now? And quite wide actually there on exit, just wanting to not overdrive the car through there, I guess. As he comes now through sector 2. Sector 2 is a 28.2, not too bad. And down towards the final. Oh no, he's spun again! Spartan Keith, he still can't get a lap on the board. He is going to be really frustrated in that cockpit. That's a second spin. That's the same place that Charles Leclerc spun in the real French Grand Prix. But Spartan Keith did not meet the same fate as the Monegasque driver, instead managing to save the car before it hit the wall. But he will nonetheless be very frustrated with that one. Into the pits he comes. He's only going to have 1 or 2 more attempts left at this, so he's got to get a lap in pretty soon. Henry is on a lap as well. Who is setting green sectors? Femi was, but he didn't have as good a third sector, and as such couldn't improve to P6. But look at that. T3 Max a 403, Femi Thrustmaster 411, and Crozer 414. Barely 100th of a second between the three of them. So very close there for P6. Lalo Mado's still on pole for now. Pommy Alex some 3 and a bit tenths down on the Haas, and then Tier a further 7 tenths back. So some drivers with some work to do. Henry coming through the final sector. He wants to get something on the board, and it's looking like he's going to do just that as he comes to the final corner. A bit too much curb there perhaps, but he'll still be happy to be coming across the line to at least set a lap in this session. What's it going to be? A 32.8. It puts him into the top 10 just about. Tito Man is also on a lap and is improving, so we'll see what happens with him as he comes towards the second sector and opens the DRS. Tier was setting a green sector, but that was the previous lap, sorry. Is anyone setting green sectors? It doesn't seem like it at the moment. TTV Max well off his previous best, made a mistake in sector 1. So we'll keep running on board with Tito Man. He's 2.5 tenths up on his previous best overall. 1.5 in sector 2 alone, so he's looking to beat Henry back up into the top 10 as the Alpine goes a bit wide there though, maybe just a different line. There are a few different lines you can take through that long left-hander, as right-hander, as Tito comes towards the end of his lap now. Can he hook up sector 3 in the best way possible? Round he comes. The final corner and up to the line, opens the DRS all the way to the line. What's it going to be for Tito Man? 32.7. So didn't improve in the third sector, but still managed to improve his overall lap time, and just about beats Henry into the top 10 by 0.005 of a second. And I'm not sure there's time for the Aston Martin to get round again, unless no, he's into the pits, so he's definitely not going to set another lap. Spartan Keith's on an outlap. This will be his last chance to set a lap. There's only 2 minutes left in this session now. So the Red Bull under a lot of pressure to set this lap. We'll ride on board with Pommy Alex though, because he set a purple sector 1 and he's improved by 2 tenths in sector 2. So can Pommy Alex put his Ferrari on pole? Lalo Mato is on an outlap, so he is going to be setting 1 more lap. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But can the Australian put it on pole position for the first time this season? Round the final sector he comes towards the final couple of corners. What's it going to be for Pommy Alex? Final corner gets a bit too much curb there, arguably. I don't know if that's going to cost him a bit too much time, but up to the line he comes. It's going to be very close. I don't think he's going to do it. No, a 31.0. Lost time in the final sector. And Pommy Alex will be disappointed there to be a couple of tenths off of provisional pole. Muhiti is improving as well, but nowhere near as much as you'd think. Only by a tenth out of sector 2. through the final sector now. Maybe he made a big mistake in the final sector on his previous lap. We'll find out just in a second as he comes up to the line all the way. DRS open, and no, he's still way off. Muhiti makes a mistake in the final sector, and he's over nearly a second off of his teammate in the other Ferrari, but he's still in P4. That is the gap that we're talking about here. Tier is also on a lap, but no, he's not improving. Who is improving? Mr. J-Man is coming across the line. He was improving. What's it going to be for him? 31.8 puts him into P3. That knocks the championship leader down to P5, who's clearly really not enjoying this Paul Ricard circuit as he cuts the corner just to get out of the way of people, to be fair to him. Is anyone else improving? JBS Steve is improving. QB's next to be disqualified for going the wrong way. I'm sure that's just the game screwing him over. It's happened to me before, so he will start from the back, gifting Lil Manny Man a position. But JBS Steve, a bit of a moment there out of that left-hander and into the final part of the lap now. Up towards the final corner. Gets on the curb quite a lot, has a huge moment, manages to save the car, but I don't think that's going to do any wonders for his lap time. And no, he does improve, but not enough to beat Crozer in the end. After that mistake, he'll be disappointed with that. Crozer is improving as well. He's a 10th up on his previous best. Lalo Mado is not improving, I can tell you that right now. So I don't think he will be improving his lap time, so pole position will remain at a 30.8. Crozer comes across the line. He's nowhere near pole, but where can he get to? 7th. That is where, just about a 10th behind Muhiti. So it's Ferrari Red Bull 2-3. Ferrari Red Bull 6-7 as Spartan Keith did set a lap in the end. I did not notice. P3 for him. He will be relieved to not be starting from the back today. Finally got a lap in, and it's a great one, a 31.2 from the Red Bull driver. And I think that will be that for qualifying. Yes, it will. So Lalo Mado takes another pole position after Pommy Alex failed to dethrone the Haas. But the Australian will still be very happy to be nearly a second faster than his teammate and on the front row for the French Grand Prix. Oh, and Femi Thrustmaster has just DM'd me, and he says he was moving house, so it wasn't PlayStation issues, so I apologise for that. But yeah, I hope your move went well, Femi. And it's great to see you back on track. P10, top 10 quali for you as well, and just, well, a 10th away from P8. You're very much on the pace, so it could be a good race for you. But there we go. Those are our quali results today, but Spartan Keith gets a 5-place grid penalty. I didn't understand that. I didn't see that happen, but he will be starting from P8 then in the end. Will the Red Bull? I'm sure we'll see his footage to confirm what happened later, but for now, all I know is he'll be starting P8, which gives Muhiti a position up to P5. Mr. J-Man will start from P3, but yeah, as I said, Lalo Mado on pole with Pommy Alex beside him, and then Mr. J-Man and Tier will be the second row. Muhiti and Crozer row 3. Row 4 will be Spartan Keith and Jamie and Spartan Keith. Row 5 will be TTV Max and Femi Thrustmaster. Row 6, JBS Steve and Tito Man. And then Henry, Lil Manny Man and QB will make up the back of the grid. Lil Manny and QB unfortunately getting disqualified, I'm sure through no fault of their own. Skies look dark, but I was reliably informed that it would be dry, so I won't take that too much into account. So we're about to get underway. Remember, no formation lap, so we'll get underway straight away for the French Grand Prix. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's go time for the French Grand Prix. It's a good start from Lalo Mato, but Pommy Alex gets decently away too and will be round the outside. Mr. J-Man with a great start, trying to make it 3 wide as they go towards the first corner, but Pommy Alex all the way around the outside to take the lead of the French Grand Prix. Tier is round further back. Everyone manages to avoid him. Crows are up to P4. Jamie, TTV Max and Spartan Keith battling in the background. Spartan down the inside. TTV Max fights him back again on the next corner. They're still side by side as they go through Sector 1. I think Spartan Keith has got this, but TTV Max is not going to give this up. We know that for sure, but he has to give it up in the end. But will he get the better exit? Yes, he will. He uses the overtake. Is he going to make the move? I wonder, but Spartan Keith has got more to worry about because he's got Jamie F1 in front of him, and he's going to look to make the move. Down the inside he goes. What a move he makes there, but he's gone round, and Jamie F1, there's nothing the Mercedes could do about that. He was already as far wide as he could go, and Spartan is round once again, and it's starting to become a pattern with the Red Bull. He's been round, I'm pretty sure, at every race this season as Jamie and TTV Max go side by side. That's a brilliant move by the youngster. Into P5 goes the Alfa Romeo. No way back through for Jamie. He's down to P6. What a start for TTV Max, up 4 places. But Lil Manny Man gets the best start, up 5 places, and Muhiti, the championship leader, I didn't even notice, he has got no wing and he's down 10 places. It's a disaster for Muhiti, and his teammate, his championship rival Pommy Alex, is in P1. So this could be huge for ramifications for the championship. Pommy Alex sets the fastest lap as well. We're going to go to tyres to see where everyone is. So Pommy Alex on the mediums. It's about a 50-50 split actually between hards and mediums. Muhiti is into the pits now for his front wing change. But I think he'll be going on to the hards, but I do wonder. Tier getting past Lil Manny Man further back. Good move from the Aston Martin. And Lil Manny under pressure from Spartan Keith as well, who's looking to make his way back through the field. But Henry down the inside makes his life a bit difficult there, as he couldn't take the line he wanted with the Aston Martin there. And that cost him a bit of time too, Lil Manny Man. And now Henry's going to make the move possibly into turn... oh my goodness, I'm not sure which turn number that is. I think turn 8, but they're still side by side as Spartan Keith down the inside, but he's braked too late and has to cut the corner and loses a bunch of time and loses the position to Henry in the end. So the Aston Martin up to P11, and Spartan Keith's fight back up the grid, not getting off to a good start as Lalo Mato. And perhaps that's why he didn't get the best of starts. Started on the hard tyres, Pommy on the mediums. So it's at the moment the Ferrari in front, but as the race unfolds, Lalo is going to have the better tyres later on, unless there's an early safety car. That would really scupper his plans if there was a safety car in the next few laps or so. So he'll be hoping that will not happen. Pommy Alex, of course, setting the fastest lap on lap 2, but Jamie F1 is not giving up this fight for P5 with TTV Max. He's gone down the inside into turn 1. They're still side by side. Fantastic move from the Mercedes, but Max isn't going to give this up. He's got the overtake. Is he going to go for another move into the next corner? No, he's going to back off. Very sensible from the Alfa Romeo driver there, and he will stay in P6 for now, but he's going to have the DRS, and perhaps that's why he knows he will have that advantage on the next straight. Will cut back to the leaders as Lalo Mato is going to have DRS, but I don't think he's close enough to make a move. Meanwhile, Crozer is going to be close enough. Down the inside of Mr. J-Man he goes, and into P3 as the Red Bull looks to take his first podium of the season. And TTV Max, as I said, straight back past Jamie F1. Henry gets past Lil Manny Man as well. Spartan Keith still unable to make any inroads at the moment as Henry makes his way further up the grid. And Tier recovering from his spin pretty well actually at the start. He's up to P9 already. Lil Manny Man and Spartan Keith now going side by side as the Red Bull down the inside into that right-hander, and that should be move done and dusted for the Red Bull. Indeed it is, and he's going to have that Aston Martin in his sights next as he nearly goes side by side with him in a place. where you wouldn't expect, but he's looking to get the better exit, and he does, but there's no way through on this part of the track. Lap 3. Coming on to lap 4 now. Pomialek sets the fastest lap again as Spartan goes for the move into the final corner. Very opportunistic. He will have the DRS as well, and that will be move done for the Red Bull. Up to P10 he goes, and Tyr will be his next target as J-Man and Crozer go side by side, and Crozer's off, in fact. Oh no, the Red Bull, I cursed him. I said first podium of the season, and he is now down behind his teammate after all of that. I'm not sure if anything happened. I didn't... Oh, no. Oh, I hate this game. I hate this game so much. It's so shit.